Hello, Aquarius, and welcome to your new moon in Scorpio reading. So, there is some interesting energy I feel during this new moon. I do feel like this is going to be a very powerful, significant new moon. We have the sun and the moon both at 28 degrees, and sitting right with them at 28 degrees is Mercury retrograde. So very interesting combination just with the energies from those three things. And though the sun, the moon, and Mercury at 28 degrees of Scorpio are in opposition with Uranus at 29 degrees of Taurus. So this is a very interesting. I feel like it's going to like energy. I feel like this is going to bring quite like a lot of unexpected information, insight, opportunity. I feel very strong, like boom, instant sort of energy coming through with this, like like a reality of I feel a higher vibration. I'm not saying that's going to be for everybody because we all know it doesn't work like that. But it's interesting because we have the three planets, which I feel are, I want to say that those three, or they're not all planets, but the sun, the moon, and Mercury retrograde are all at 28 degrees. The 28, if you break it down, is a 2 and an 8 equals a 10. Tens talk about completion, right? And then it's in opposition to Uranus, which is talking about a radical shift, a radical change in Taurus, in the physical realm, and that is at 29 degrees. When broken down, that brings it to an 11. So there does feel like there is a really, I feel dramatic or drastic shift and change, closing out of something and mastering something at the same time. Very big, powerful energy I'm feeling with this new moon. So take what resonates, release what doesn't. I'm going to pull some energies from, this is from the what's this? It's called the astrology deck. That's literally um, Heavenly Bodies astrology deck. That's what this deck is called. So we're going to just see what energies are showing up. First card that comes out is Aries. So I feel like this is about being a leader. This is about taking control, standing in your power, um, embarking on a new beginning, initiating something is how I'm feeling with that. Bottom of the deck is the house six. This can be Virgo energy, where you're ground, and you know that Uranus is in Taurus, where I feel like with it showing up in the six as a sixth house energy, I can feel an energy being solidified, like the seed has been planted, it's germinated, it's sprouted, it's starting to bloom and grow. That's the sort of energy I'm feeling with all of that. So I feel like whatever this initiation, this move, this whatever this is that's on deck I'm seeing for you, I feel like this is really going to have a change, like a big change. Again, my intention is to read for the higher vibrational frequencies, so this is not going to resonate with everybody, but I feel like this authentic, genuine, sincere act, leadership move, whatever this is for you higher vibrational frequencies, I feel like this is really solidifying something so bringing it into your physical realm. I'm manifesting, like if this was a job opportunity you've been looking for, if this is someone who is going into a connection or a relationship, it's something that really takes root. Like I said, that energy germinates. So the next energy we have showing up for you is Sagittarius. So we start off with Aries, we move into Sagittarius. Aries and Sagittarius are sister signs. They're both fire sign energy. So I feel a lot of enthusiasm. I feel there's a lot of wisdom. I feel like there's higher learning involved in a shift and a change in a belief system in some way, shape, or form. Again, you'll know how that fits for you. At the bottom of the deck is house five, and that would be another sister sign. That would be Leo energy. A lot of fire I'm seeing out here. Um, I'm seeing it did say the fifth house, so I feel like this is somebody who is utilizing their creative energy. I feel like there's something that feels outside the box, innovative, or something like that, that I feel like somebody is doing something with, like creating something, establishing something, working towards something, whatever this is. Next card that comes up is mutable energy. We see the signs of Gemini, Virgo, which I've kind of picked up on, Sagittarius, which is sitting here right on the table, and Pisces energy as well. What's going on in Pisces? A lot of things are going on in Pisces right now. There is the energy of Neptune being retrograde in Pisces, Saturn being retrograde in Pisces, and the North Node is in Pisces. So it feels to me like there is something to do with structure, discipline, learning something. Um, I kind of feel like staying focused, being like really not hard on oneself, but really keeping one's self. I don't even think contained is the right word, under control, like not moving too quickly. It's like I don't feel like you're restrictive, but I do feel like it's more strategic, like you're being more strategic with the moves, the energies, what you're doing, when you're doing it, that sort of energy. It does feel with this mutable energy right here, where whatever this initiation thing is that you're doing, and moving towards, I do feel like you have very supportive energy that's going to help us, you move along the way through this process. Sorry about the bad lighting. I guess I should turn more lights on. All right, let's go with the next card, and that is a trine, and that's really nice to see this mutable energy right next to a trine. Trines talk about energy that flows together, they work together, they support each other. So I do feel like there is not only your creative mind, but like your leadership skills and your expansive thinking that is really in unison right now, or working together on an idea, on a project, on something I'm feeling. And I do see this taking off quite nicely for you. So let's keep going. Let's pull one more energy out here before we get some clarifying energies. This is just the from the planets, the universe, the astrology. This is, what's going on in Sagittarius, because you did have that out here, and you had Aries. Chiron, the wounded healer, is in Aries. And what else is going on with Sagittarius? Mars is in Sagittarius. So, yes, initiating, taking action, moving forward. All right, let's keep moving. Next card that comes up through the astrology is Uranus. This is so funny because I was talking about this Uranus being in Taurus right there, where there's going to be this just out of nowhere, like, experience, I feel. And I feel like it changes everything when it, like, this is like you've been waiting for an opportunity. This is that door opening. You've been waiting for or trying to manifest something. You've been calling something in, whatever this is. It's like Uranus is that radical shift and that change. And I feel like this is happening as a result of an initiation that someone took, right? Bottom of the deck, sixth house. I feel strongly for who I'm talking to. This is either something to do with your career or your finances. Maybe you're picking up a you know a different source, a way of earning money or something like that. But I do feel like this is more related to a creative project that somebody is considering launching, wanting to launch, or researching launching, something like that. I feel like they have a great idea, or a creative something, like they've created something or they are creating something. And I feel like the energy is supporting whatever this is. And it does feel to me like it's something that it definitely has something to do with their everyday life, work, routine. I feel like this is more connected to their like I said, their career, their source of income, or an additional source of income. The first energy coming out to clarify Aries, which is that initiation, is welcome change. Wow, yeah. So this is someone initiating the change. They're initiating and welcoming a change. And I feel like it's in their financial sector. I just feel like that. It could represent, a different area, but to me, this is really tapping into somebody who is like, I feel, wanting to take an advent or embark on an adventure, being a true leader. So I do feel like it's somebody who is trying to create something that is their own, right? Like that is their own future, their own legacy, whatever this is how I'm feeling about this. I do feel like it's their purpose in the world or something like that. Joy of generosity is showing up with Sagittarius. So Sagittarius energy is ruled by the sign of Jupiter, and Jupiter is it, because these readings are coming out before then. Right, no, at the time of this new moon, Jupiter is, where is it? It's in Cancer. It is retrograde, yeah. So it's retrograde. Oh, almost like this whole chart is not all of it, but a lot of planets are retrograde at the time of this new moon, and it just so happens that Jupiter in Cancer is retrograde. So I do feel this, retrograde can feel restrictive, but I'm not really feeling restrictive with this energy. You know how I feel about it? I feel like this could be a time of reevaluation, reassessing, anything with the right? Um, Reviewing, anything like that, attention being in the details. I feel like this is a period or a point where there is this time where somebody is, maybe you're just reevaluating your thought, your strategy, your business model, or the structure that you have in regards to whatever this creativity. I feel like it's a creative adventure. I feel like somebody's trying to create something, and it does have to do with money and their legacy. That's how I'm feeling with this. So I feel like that's going to be a time, or this new moon is really bringing you to that step. Maybe that is a step before your launching step. Maybe this is something you have been working on. Now you're just going over it with a fine tooth comb, reevaluating everything. Again, Mercury is retrograde at this point in time. So we all know that's not the greatest time to launch something. So this could be, when Mercury goes direct and out of shadow, where that would be a perfect launch time. But I'm feeling right now it's the process of just reviewing, revising, and it may feel a little restrictive. You may even feel like, I just want to go, I just want to put this out there, I just want to see where this goes, what happens with all of this. But I feel like you're restraining yourself, and that was the energy I kept trying to pick up on when I was talking about Sagittarius. And I kept saying, no, that's not the right word. I'm not Sagittarius, Saturn. That's not the right word. I kept saying it, like, restraining oneself, your impulses, right, from wanting to make quick moves and things like that. So the next two cards that come out are Anointed with Love and Peace of Mind, and these came to clarify this mutable energy that is out here. And I'm feeling with this, with this energy, I'm feeling you feel. Not only can I see it showing up as you having peace of mind, but I feel like there is this almost like feeling of, I know it's a feeling of peace in your soul, but it's like this unity, like you feel whole on a soul level. And I feel like it's strongly connected to either being on your life's path, or, I just feel very in alignment with your North Node. And I did mention that being in that sign of Pisces when I was talking about Saturn and Neptune. Neptune can be creative energy. Neptune can also be an energy, and Pisces itself is an energy of being extremely intuitive, right? So I feel like this is just an alignment, and I kind of feel like this is like that breath. You're taking this deep breath and having this pause, well, I can't really call it a pause because I feel like you're doing stuff. You are doing work. You're reevaluating, you're reassessing, you're looking at everything, you're dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's, all of that stuff before you're getting ready to put this out there. So I hope that you don't think that you're not doing anything, because that is something. The next card that comes out is manage your time, right? And so very interesting to see that with their when we're just talking about all of this. And I do feel um, that could be something maybe you're feeling a little pressured with, the holidays, the timing of things. With this managing your time, I also feel like this is planning that time as well, right? Planning the proper time. Like I said, Mercury's retrograde. It's not the greatest time to launch into anything new at this time. This is a perfect time to review, revise, reevaluate, go back and look at something that maybe in the past you had picked up and then put down, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's not the greatest time to launch something new, but it can be a time to, like I said, fine tune, pay attention to the details, get everything prepped, prepared, planned, plotted out, all of those things. This is a perfect time for all of that. Bottom of the deck is stay in the flow, and we've already seen this show up out here once. I don't know if it was on the bottom of the deck or if it was on the table, but I do feel that energy of, yeah, it was the trine, that trine energy that's right up there. So the energy is supporting you along this part of your journey along. Well, I feel like the universe is always supporting you. It's more so when you're in alignment, and I feel whoever I'm reading for, you are in alignment. You're recognizing there's something bigger, right? There's something that's there for you, and I feel like you are working to create it. The positive attitude, there's that portal and there's that fire. Again, I feel like the action taking part of this, that may be part of it, something you're frustrated with, or could be feeling like a challenge for you, where you want to take action, you want to make things happen, you want to put things out there, but for whatever reason, and I feel like it's the energy with the planets and all this retrograde, Mercury retrograde, I kind of feel like this is the universe supporting you by, first trying to encourage you to be patient, right? And restrain yourself from moving too fast, because you'd rather take those small, methodical steps and have it stable, solid, secure, long lasting, right? Portal to success. I would think the universe is agreeing when I say that, because that's what this card does indicate, is that's your portal to success, right? Slow and steady wins the race, attention to detail, really, overlooking, taking steps back and then looking at it again, all that stuff. It's all part of the process. It's something everybody has to do, or they do when they're a successful leader, business owner, anything like that. So let's keep going. Let's see what wants to give additional energy. And there's the Four of Cups. This I kind of feel mixed feelings about that. Let me see what the bottom of the deck says. Bottom of the deck is the Knight of Cups to the Ace of Pentacles. I kind of felt this Four of Cups because it can be a block, right? The Four of Cups can be a block. Um, I feel if this is a block, it's, maybe if something's not moving forward at the speed you want it to, or happening at the time that you're wanting it to, you could feel like this is the way, I kind of feel like someone feels rejected, or rejected by the universe, or maybe I kind of feel like it gets somebody up in their feelings about this. I feel like it's to do with the timing. I don't feel like this is anything to do with what you're doing, what you're creating, what you're bringing forth, birthing into, I don't feel like it's because of that. I just feel like it's to do with the timing. So be patient with that, because I can really, see and hear where somebody really wants to get this ball rolling, but it's like the planets aren't, they in the future, coming up in the near future, this isn't even a long way away. This is all going to be harmonized energy, being able to move through into this portal. But I do feel you have to be patient during for whatever reason. I think it's because there is information you don't know. King of Swords showed up in reverse. I do feel like he's meant to go upright. I feel like there's information you don't know or something you don't see. And that I feel is this during this retrograde season, more so I'm feeling during the Mercury in retrograde, you're going to see this. Like you're going to know this, you're going to see something. This could even be where you're presenting this or bringing it to a financial advisor or a professional in some way, shape, or form, a business man, something like that, right? Getting a professional review or professional advice or that's or even legal advice, something like that. And I feel like there's something that was missed. I feel like you didn't see something, and I do feel like it will bring forth clarity, and that ultimately will, like, I kind of feel release any blocks that you've had on you. I kind of also feel like this is all going to somehow be I don't believe in coincidences, but it feels to me like it's going to be coinciding with Mercury going direct, where that is now you see it. Now the truth is there. Now the information is available. Now you can just, correct that or do that or whatever this is. And then that things start happening. And it's all interesting to see how it's showing up with that trine energy, with all of this about finding peace where the weight of the world is off your shoulders. I feel like you could also become very busy. This could be something that takes off quite quickly for you, whatever this adventure is or this thing happening. It's like once you get the go, like this is almost like somebody who's opening up a restaurant, right? And then they got to go through all the inspections, and until these come out and they're done and it's signed off on, you can't open this up, you can't move forward, right? So this is showing me where this is coming together. I'm just using that as an example. I'm not saying everybody's out there opening one, but I'm just saying. So I do feel like it's going to be okay. I do feel like it could add to your nerves, right? Fear of the unknown. But these I feel are things, don't get caught up. I would say don't get caught up or too in your feelings or over emotional. Um, about this, and it even this new moon may bring up these feelings and emotions, right, where there's these fears subconsciously because of something being triggered. This new moon is in the sign of Scorpio. It is at the last couple degrees. It is going to be extremely powerful. Scorpio is an energy of transformation, and it also talks about subconscious depth, right? The depth of our pain, the depth of our happiness, the depth of our gifts. There's a lot of depth when you talk about the sign of Scorpio. So, like the delays or frustrations could really raise some things for someone, and they could be feeling extremely emotional during this new moon. What I am seeing though is, seeing clearly the truth coming out, like the way forward, the right, things, doors opening and opportunities happening. The next card that's showing up is the Knight of Swords. So I do feel like this, I kind of feel like someone's going to get hit with kind of, not hit, I shouldn't say it like that, but kind of like it's like I said, it gives me that vibe of, well, we got to do this or we got to do that or I got to run it through this. And then it could be the smallest thing that's such a minor fix or, adjustment or something like that. But it really sets, somebody into an emotional, I would say tailspin, but I feel like saying just like I feel like it's a release because I feel like it's like all of the weight that they've carried or were carrying about the worry, the stress, that is this going to work out and all that stuff. I feel like it ended up becoming toxic, right? That became, they were bound to, I don't know. I just feel like it's fears, doubts, insecurities that come rushing up as a result of this, and again, it does say out here, positive attitude, stay positive. I don't feel this is going to be a big deal, but I feel to somebody it could feel like a big deal, right? And it's, because with that Uranus in opposition, like I said, like this unexpected, delay or postpone or whatever this can be like, feel like it's the end of the world for somebody who's been waiting and has just been overcoming every obstacle, challenge, and yada 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 to get to this point. And then one more thing, it's like what do they call that, um the straw that broke the camel's back. Is that what it is, right? And this could be just where someone needs to release and purge. I feel you're going to be okay. I feel like cry it out, have your pity party for a second, feel your feelings, um, and release that pent up frustration, annoyance, fears, doubts, whatever that is. Cry it out, release it, let it go. You'll be back up on your feet in no time. I feel like that you will. I feel like this is just one thing that is going to be where a like a radical shift and a change, where it's like all of a sudden it feels like the end of the world, and in the very next second it's like the whole brand new world has begun. So there's the Queen of Cups, so there's more of that feeling, a lot of cups energy. Between cups and air I'm seeing, and again I feel like someone's emotions can get over, like really be overwhelming as a result of a lot of communication or information or things like that. I think it's all going to work out fine. It looks to me like it is. I just feel like it could feel like an emotional roller coaster because of the amount of time, energy, and effort someone has put into something, and then just waiting for that yes, right? And it feels like that to me. So we have the Four of Swords showing up next. Now, I am going to say this. I am going to say it, yes. With the fours bookmarking both of this, I feel it in two ways. First of all, the fours represent foundation, right? They represent an energy of, and again, how interesting is all of this, because it's either in this entire row, it's cups or swords. So I feel like this Four of Swords is representing somebody resting, recharging. I kind of get the vibe that that's when someone has this emotional, like, just, I gotta cry this out. It's how I'm feeling, and sometimes you don't even know what you're crying out, right? But I feel like there's a lot of pent up feelings, emotions, fears, all wrapped into one, right? Um, I feel like this is going to be balancing out the heart, not the heart, the head and the heart after the Strength card and the Ace of Wands, because I feel as a result of this, I'm feeling the numbers four, first of all, are big numbers. I think those are big numbers. I've talked to you about those before. The number 44 is really sticking out because it's book ending this, and I do have the book here. So I'm going to just read you the message from this is the Angel Numbers book. It is by Mystic Michela. I don't know who this is. Um, but anyways, I will read you what number 44, because I think this is talking about, yeah, divine intervention. Ask for protection. The angelic realm is around you. The angelic realm is around you presently. The angels want you to ask them for help and support with stronger intentions. Lie in meditation today and repeat this mantra: I am ready for divine intervention in my life. And I feel like this is what's trying to happen, right? Um, I do feel like that's what's trying to happen. And I do feel like, again, somebody could be fearing where they're not going to get that final approval, that yes, that go ahead, that green light, whatever this is. I don't feel like that is the case, but I do feel like someone's fear about that is rearing its head and it's needing to be addressed. I do feel someone's going to be needing to take some time to get some rest, recharge, rejuvenate, and also, tap back into their strength and their power. Like, this just feels to me like someone needs a timeout, to to, do some spiritual cleansing and healing, because they just been, I feel like, pushing a boulder up a mountain for a long time, and now they're just about to that mountain. I feel they're at that mountain. They're just waiting to that for that recognition of being at the top of that mountain, and it just feels, I just feel like somebody just really emotionally, you know, breaks down. I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I just feel like it's an emotional dumping during this new moon where they're releasing all the, the worry, the stress, the pressure, the anxiety, the all of it, all wrapped into one at the same time. But from that place, it's all gone. That weight is gone. They're shedding all of that. They're shedding the sadness, the stress, the worry, all of that stuff is being purged out. Almost like this is somebody who probably will want to be alone to have an ugly cry, pick themselves back up, come back out in their strength, and then take that leap of faith and that move forward. Ace of Wands. That's when it's time for action. So don't beat yourself up if you're needing to take some time just to take a step back before you put things into motion. I feel like it's not just about you or anything like that. I feel like it's about the planets and the timing of things as well, why some things are not moving as quickly as somebody wants them to be. And if I was to be looking at somebody and this was their energy, I would say I would not, wait until Mercury is direct and out of shadow, right before taking action is would be my recommendation anyways. I would recommend that regardless, but I definitely would when I'm looking at all of this, because I do feel like there is something um, that is not seen that's going to be seen, and it may be frustrating when you see it. Like this could have been, well, you had to apply for a XYZ license or something like that, and it's like it's the first you've ever heard of it, and now you feel like it sets you back 100 steps. I don't feel like that's the case, but it can feel like it is that big and that dramatic, and it just can be, like I said, that last bit of weight somebody can take before they need to just release the feelings, the emotions, and things like that that they have been undergoing for a while, in order to transmute and transform that energy. Wow. All right, Aquarius, this seems really big. Please leave me a comment. Let me know if this reading resonates with you. I thank you for taking the time to listen, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you. I send you love and light.